Have you ever been told tales about selected creatures that seemed like myths or fates? However, what if the chosen ones weren't born that way, but rather developed via a succession of hardships that the majority of people aren't even aware of? These examinations take place on the spiritual, mental, and emotional levels. They cannot be measured by physical prowess or computed by instruments. These problems disrupt the roots of your identity and break certainties. They only become apparent to those who are willing to take on these issues head-on, even if there is no assurance that they will be successful. The first test comes when you have to remove all of your masks because of life. It's the point at which everything you thought you knew about yourself begins to fall apart. None of that still defines who you are, not even your status, relationships, or qualifications. Without any decorations, or the lovely tale you have always told the world and yourself, there is nothing left but your reflection. Similar to standing in front of a mirror in a pitch-black room, the silence is unsettling because it raises the question that few people have the guts to ask: who am I without anything to support me? Many run away at this point. They resume diverting their attention and acting as though nothing is wrong. But the first step toward change is taken by those who persevere. Then comes isolation. Despite all the sounds and everyday distractions, you feel the need to withdraw, and it involves more than simply physically avoiding them. It also entails confronting your own thoughts honestly. Your actual inner voice, which is typically drowned out by outside noise, becomes audible when everything around you becomes quiet. Many people find quiet intolerable. It reveals weaknesses and worries that are no longer acceptable. However, those that proceed understand that deep behind this emptiness is a reality that only you can uncover. Letting go of the bonds is the third obstacle. We hold on to material belongings, relationships, and ideas in the hopes that they will validate who we are or provide purpose to our lives. However, the opposite is required for this test. Letting go. Give up strict expectations and pride, and relinquish control over things that are beyond your control. It is realizing that what is genuinely yours will always be there, and that what is not worth the burden you bear. This is not the same as being apathetic. This disengagement is a gradual process. It calls for a persistent mindset of letting go of things that appear basic. To achieve inner freedom, this is a terrific starting step. Then comes the soul's dark night. It is a time when everything that was stable starts to fall apart. Relationships end, the job enters a crisis, and life's purpose seems to disappear. You have no hope of escaping the darkness that surrounds you. Thoughts whirl, and the heart tightens. What is causing this? Is it a penalty? Nonetheless, a purifying process is taking on in this gloom. Pain purges anything that wasn't real and was just present to keep up a front. Those who surrender become lost in its shadow. However, persevering people find that there is a flame that never goes out in the middle of the darkness, the very essence. When all else fails, it becomes the sole dependable light, despite its initial fragility and discreteness. This is where faith is put to the test. We are speaking about a deep confidence in life itself, in the unseen wisdom that governs all living things, not of blind faith or faith confined to ideologies. It is the conviction that chaos may become healing and that suffering has a purpose. It's to keep going without having hard evidence that it will succeed. This religion does not reject suffering. Rather, it accepts reality while continuing to believe that every obstacle has a purpose. It is not sustainable for many. When things go wrong, they would rather give in to pessimism. However, those who persevere, even if they tremble, create an unbreakable relationship with their inner power. Then comes the surrender test. You come to understand that total control is a myth at this point. The plot of life develops on its own. It doesn't follow your scripts. Giving up does not imply surrender. Rather, it refers to ceasing to swim against the flow. It's to recognize that a higher intellect is being involved. Rather of resisting life, you work alongside it. You simply make the misery worse if you attempt to control every little thing and make it fit your wishes. When you let go and trust the process, you discover that a force far bigger than your ego is in charge. Ironically, this resignation also creates opportunities that were previously unattainable via unrelenting effort. At last, the waking occurs. When you take off your masks, face loneliness, let go, go into the dark, have trust, and give up, you come to understand that you are a part of something larger. Life itself desired to express itself via you. Thus, you are not here by accident. It now becomes clear that what first appeared to be a purpose or aim is really an extension of who you really are. Such distinct separations between me and the outside world are no longer present. When the veil lifts, you realize that everything you've experienced, it made you more aware of your true self. After it, there is a fresh start rather than a finish. You are free to create, love, and live without being imprisoned by fear or uncertainty all the time. I kindly request that you like this video and immediately subscribe to the channel if you believe that this journey resonates deeply with you. This is a great way to keep receiving insightful thoughts and lessons that can help you on your journey of self-discovery. To ensure that you don't miss any content, click the subscribe button and enable notifications. Together, we will keep solving the riddles that occupy our souls and minds. Prepare yourselves, for the adventure is just getting started.